Hi, guys. Good evening. Won't be long today, but I will be strong. I wanted to come on here and talk about a few things about increasing one's value. How do you increase your value? We hear the term value, our values that we throw around very loosely, the American values. So the term value is a very loose term, and this is one of the definitions of the word value. And if you're watching the replay, just make sure you share this out. But I'm going to look it up here. Value definition: to the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness in something. Let me say that again. The regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. A person's principles or standards of behavior, one's judgment that is important to life. So there's two different types of value. So let's look at the regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. So if you look at your education, I tell people evaluate your education, and then you can evaluate your services or your life. Who are you? What have you been through? Again, evaluate your education. What does that mean? If you take, for instance, somebody that goes to college, they have a I was just talking to a client today about this. She has a master's degree. And do you know how many times somebody has asked her for that degree? I mean, actually wanting to see it? She says, never in her whole life. And yet she's paid more for something that no one asks her for. Why? It's the regard that something is held to deserve. Let me say that again. It's the regard that something is held to deserve. So when you know your value, I love it how when Tony Robbins tells people that he gets paid $1 million a day. Think about that. $1 million a day. Let me say that again. I don't think you got it. $1 million a day to do what he loves, to transform people's lives. But who set his value? Who set his value? I wonder, did he? I mean, at what point did he wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to charge $1 million? You know why you don't have a $50,000 offer? You know why we don't have a $50,000 offer is because we don't have one. It is not the only reason, but it's one of the main ones. It's we don't create those offers, and your offer is not your product service. It's not your pretty charts or your graphs. It is the net effect of what you're going to do for them. So it is the transformation. So, what kind of transformation can you give someone? If they work with you, what is the transformation going to be like? Now, there's no guarantees. If I go 300 miles to the east, or 200 miles, I might end up in a town. If I come back, I might end up back where I was. But if I head north, I'm not going to get home. I got to come back the same directions. So you got to follow the right directions. So, but if somebody gives you the right directions and you don't do those things, no wonder why you're still lost. I believe we're all exactly where we want to be, whether we'll admit it or not. Because if we wanted something different, we would act as if it was impossible to fail. We'd go out and do it, and we'd see ourselves for where we want to be. My friend and mentor, Les Brown, he gets paid $47,000 an hour to do what he does. And I'm thinking, $47,000 an hour, who set his value? Who set his price? Why is he that valuable? Why will somebody pay Les Brown? Because he's made himself value. See, he had to step into the water before he knew how to swim. He had to step into his greatness. That's why he always comes out and says, "Step into your greatness." You've got to be hungry. How hungry are you? What story are you going to keep selling yourself? What story is it that you're going to keep selling yourself? I wonder. I wonder what story are you going to keep telling yourself? And so do do the things that are necessary to believe that you can have what you want to have and be what you want to be and do what you want to do and step into your greatness, the step into your purpose, step into your destiny, step into your goals. What is it that you want more than anything? What is it that you want more than anything? Are you going to continually live where you've been, live where you are? Or are you going to step into what it is that you want? Are you going to step into that greatness and that purpose and that destiny and that destination? Are you going to get a goal that is so exhilarating that it excites you and it scares you at the same time? One that's so in tune with your mental and spiritual core that you'll willingly dedicate all of your waking hours and all of your resources to its attainment so that you can say at the end of your life, "I am incredibly, emphatically grateful for this idea that used and moved my life." What a different story we would have to share if we had such goals that lit the fire under our broiler, that got us up in the morning, that said, "This far and no further. I'm done with low living, sight walking, smooth knees, colorless dreams, tame vision, dwarfed goals, chintzy living and giving. I'm done with all that, and I'm going to set my sights in the things that I want. And I'm no longer looking back." So I have become a neurosurgeon in what I do. I've given myself that degree. I'm becoming more valuable. People love to pay me. They love to give me money. They love to serve. They love to help me because of my willingness to serve them. Now, is that the truth? I don't know. But it's a better story than the story I used to sell. What story are you selling yourself? Looks like we got a comment here tonight. Hey, hey, whatever that means. Hey, hey. I don't know who Hey, hey is, so welcome anyway. But that's one thing I love about Clubhouse. You at least know who's on stage with you and who you can have a conversation with. But anyway, guys, focus on your value. So, how do we determine our value? Because if you get this right, guys, and I love a book called Boss Moves by Myron Golden, fabulous book. But see, value is is not trying to figure out moves that make the difference, but you've got to focus on your you got to shift. You got to shift and you got to start telling yourself uh, a new story. A new story, guys. So tell yourself that new story, set your value, know who your ideal client is, know what you're going to focus on, and then go after it with everything you've got. My name is Jonathan Ribble. You have a great night. Take care.